For the video you'll be watching, you'll need 7 snap cube pieces and an isometric drawing paper. You won't need to do the multi-view drawings, just isometric. In my videos, when I talk about making the arrow, you'll always have to put a dot where there's an intersection of 6 lines. If you put a dot where there's an intersection of only 4 lines, you're not able to go straight up. So where there's an intersection of 6 lines, you can make that arrow shape. Whenever you talk about making that arrow shape, do it on the intersection of 6 lines. That won't work. There's 4 lines coming together here, but you can't put up the vertical. That just doesn't work. The first piece I'd like to teach you how to draw isometrically is just a single cube. So you need a single cube and your isometric sketch paper. Every line will always go either vertically or on an angle of 30 degrees. So when we're taking our single cube and we're looking at this at an isometric angle, it's going to be at about that angle. So 2 lines represent 1 edge. So that's 1, 2. 1, 2. We always start with every single cube shape that we're going to make with the shape of an arrow. So we've got 2 lines, 2 lines, and 2 lines. To continue making this, we have to draw the other edges that we see. So as you look at this cube, we've drawn that vertical line and those 2 edges, those 2 diagonal lines. We're going to continue by drawing this edge, the other edge, and we can see the entire top. So you can see all of the edges of the entire top. So we're going to draw that connector on the top. So our shape looks like that single cube. The next step we'll need to do is we'll need to attach 2 more shape cubes so that we can have a 1 by 1 by 3 tower. It's going to be very similar to the first drawing that we did. I'll draw it on the same piece of paper, just move it over to the side. So again, we need to be able to have that shape, and we're going to start with the arrow. 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines. When I'm saying 2 lines, what that means is 2 segments is going to equal 1 edge of a cube. Now we have to count how many cubes up are we going to go. So this is 3 cubes, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We've drawn that edge. Next, let's go up again. 1, 2, 3. And we can see this edge right here. I've already got the first line. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop and just kind of describe how underneath you can't see any of the bottom part of the cube and any of those edges. So since we can't see those, we won't be drawing anything else down here at the bottom. Again, we can see the top, so let's connect those. 1, 1, 1, 1. And that would be a 3 cube, 1 by 1 by 3 tower. To move to our next design, we're going to add a snap cube to turn it into the shape of an L. So we went from the 1 by 1 by 3 to an L. This would be the front, top, right. So we need to make this rotate so that we can see the right side, because that's going to be one of our multi-view drawings. And now we'll draw this isometric shape. We always begin, if you'd like to start with a dot, and that could be our front edge, front corner. We'll go 1 line, 1 line, and 1 line. Remember, when I say 1 line, that's actually meaning 2 line segments equals a single edge. We need to continue down on this bottom edge because this is 2 pieces. So we've got 1, and here's my second, 2. Next, I'm going to continue that up 3 line segments to represent, or I'm sorry, 6 line segments to represent 3 cubes. So it goes 1, 2, 3 cubes high. So we've got to go 1, 2, 3. It'd be your choice right now how you'd like to continue. I can see the top, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that top shape. That top is going to be my square. So it's always going to follow one of these diagonal lines, either on the 30-degree or on the straight vertical line. So one line segment. That was that first edge. Here comes the second edge. I can see these two edges, so I'll go ahead and draw those. As I come down, I'm only going to come down 2 cubes. So that would be 4 line segments. 1, 2. And I need to stop right there. I want to draw that edge. So that edge is going to be coming at an angle towards me. 1, 2. So that's 1 line segment. And when I said 1, 2, that means 2 line segments, means 1 edge. I can see this edge right here. So I'll connect those. And I'll connect that line right there. Now it's difficult to see in this camera view, but I can also see this edge that's vertical and this diagonal edge right there. So I need to draw those. There's 1, and here's representing 2 cubes. 1 cube, 2 cubes. We're just missing one thing right now, and this would be this line right here. That's that interior line there, that base line. And that's your L shape. The next shape cube piece that we'll be drawing is adding a cube in the bottom so it appears as though it's an upside down T. Go towards the bottom of your isometric drawing paper and put a dot. And let's draw this first corner. 1, 1, 1. Those represent that first edge. We'll bring this up on the right side. That heads back. And it runs into that tower there. And I'm a little confused on what to do next, so I'm going to wait. I can see that edge there, so I'll draw that edge. I can see the edge that's down inside there, so I'll draw that edge. I'm not going to draw that because that's on the same plane, so I'm not going to draw a line straight down there to continue that. I want to keep that on the same plane. Where my thumb is holding down at the base, that's going to be 3 cubes wide, so I've already drawn 1 cube, 2, 3. There's that far edge. 1. It's heading back on an angle. And it runs into my shape cube again. I do see the edge right here. Got to stop there. Okay, so now I've got this tower that's coming up that's going to be 2 cubes tall. I'm going to go to this back edge that I can see. So I've already drawn that piece right there. I'm going to head up 2. 1, 2. I can see the top, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my top. 1, 1, 1, 1. I can see this front edge, and it's only coming down 2 cubes. I won't come all the way down to the bottom. And all I've got left is that far edge. 1, 2. There's our final upside down T. Since this is all one plane, I wouldn't be putting any extra lines inside of that. On our next shape cube design, we'll be adding a snap cube to the front. So now we've got what's considered a multi-layer design, means we've only been using single layer snap cubes, and we've now added an additional piece, so we've got a 2-layer. This is a little bit more challenging, but we can handle it. So there's our arrow to start. Let's draw this here and back. So up and back. I can see the edge right there and the other edge coming in. Basically looking like a cube here. And I would say that's a cube that we can see. All of those edges and all of those faces. I'm going to go to the back part here, and this is going to be going up 2 cubes high. So right where my corner ended right there, I'm going to go up 2 cubes. So 1, 2. I can see the top, so I'll draw my top. There's an edge that I can see coming all the way down. 1, 2. This edge over here, I can see it coming down 1. I'm going to stop right now because I'm a little bit confused on if I can see more of that. I believe I can, but I'm going to wait for right now. Let's come up to this segment here. That line right there is in that little corner, and this one's coming back out towards us. Let's come back out towards us. Where my thumb is grasping at the bottom here, that's an edge that we need to draw. Then coming up, and I can see that whole face on the top, so let's draw that. Moving to this back side here, this is where it's getting kind of tricky to see what can I see. At this point I believe I can go ahead and finish that line and come all the way down with it. So that edge I can see coming all the way down there. Trying to see. I think I can only see this edge back here. I can't see the edge back here. As I move my finger back and forth I can't see it, but as I come around right there, that edge I can see. So coming down. 1, this is making sense. This piece is coming out over here and that connects it. So that is the same plane. I'm only missing one more edge, right, coming straight down there. And that's how we draw that upside down T. Missing one more line. As I looked over everything, wanted to make sure I added that line. It's right by my thumb there. As I was looking over it, I didn't want to skip that. So that's our completed, kind of modified upside down T. Okay, we're moving to the modified upside down T, but now we're going to go to 3 layers. We'll take an extra snap cube and we'll put it in here in the back. So it might be easiest to kind of look at that shape like that, but looking at it from the front, you can't tell there's a piece in the back. When we rotate it, this is going to be tricky because now we've got many different views here, or many different levels that we're going to be drawing. So, as always, let's start with a dot and make our arrow. I just drew that edge right there. Anytime I can see a face, I like to continue drawing that entire face. I can see another face over there and another one up on top that I say, I'm going to go ahead and draw those. So, there's that face. Go ahead and draw that one. That's those two. I'll go ahead and draw the one on the top. See that face. Alright, I've drawn those 2 snap cubes in there, and now I'm going to start drawing my vertical pieces here. This is going up 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And I can see my face up top. Okay, so now I'm trying to see what edges can we see here. I see something coming off to the back here. It's going to be the same plane as that, so I'm just thinking it's going to come right off of there. That's that plane back there, that face. Coming down. That might look a little bit unusual on your drawing, but that's how it's supposed to be. Continuing, I have to get that snap cube in the back, so it's going to be the same line coming all the way through. That line's going through there, but I can't see it, so if I can't see that, you can see back here, I can't see that edge. That was that back edge there. And then where I'm holding the snap cube, you can't see that part down here, but you can see that edge. That's how we'll finish it up. I'll give you just a moment to go ahead and create this shape. It's actually needing 7 cubes, and we'll start with 5 cubes here, then let's put a couple cubes on the top to kind of mess this up a little bit, make it more complicated to draw. So trying to see what would be the most information. It doesn't matter how we draw this. I'll go ahead and draw it in that view right there. Okay. Let's pick our point that's closest to us, and that's what we're going to begin drawing first. See that face on the top. Anytime I can see a face, I often like to complete it. I'm going to come back down here and complete that line there, that edge. I can see that edge right there, but it doesn't continue, so I'm not going to continue the line. I'm only going to do that part right there. I'm not going to continue it because that's going to be part of another face, or part of this surface here. I've just drawn that little tower shape right there. See the edge in the back. That is right where my thumb is at. You can see where my thumb is at. I was drawing that top edge there. That's that edge there. One thing left, right there. My connector. The last piece that we'll be drawing with our 7 snap cubes is this purple U. Start with our V. It's 2 cubes. 2 cubes up. I can see the top face right there. That edge coming down. I can see that face and that face. That face right there represents that face right there. Where my thumb is holding, that's going to be a bottom edge. One, two. that far corner or far edge is going to go up one, and then I can see that face. One, two. Next, I'm going to start coming down. That's that back edge, and then that front edge right there. We're not going to put a line in here because that is actually the same face going all the way down.